This example is going to be graphing linear equations by using a table. So as you can see, this question is asking us to graph an equation y equals negative 2x plus 1, which you see here. So the first thing we need to do in our table is to come up with some x values. And quite honestly, it does not matter what x values you use, but sometimes it's easier to just use easy numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3. And sometimes it's nice to have negative numbers in there as well. And again, easy negative numbers are like -1, -2. So what we're going to do for this example is we are going to plot the points. We'll say -1. We're going to say 0 and 1. So now we're going to go to our next part of the table, which is y equals negative 2x plus 1. And we are going to plug in the x value for x so that we can find y. So for this first equation, we're going to take y equals -2 times -1 plus 1. And so when we take that and we simplify it, -2 times a -1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So our y value is 3. And so we need our coordinate points. So the x value that we used was -1. And the y value that we found from plugging it into the equation was 3. So now we can take that point and we can go over to our graph and plot it. So we are going to go to our x-axis and our y-axis. And our x, -1 and 3. So we're at -1, 1, 2, 3. We are right here. Okay. So now we're going to plug in our second value, which is 0. So we're going to go back up to the table, and we have y equals -2 times 0 plus 1. So what is a -2 times 0? Well, -2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So to find our coordinate points, our x value that we used was 0, and our y value that we found was 1. So we're going to go over to our graph, and we're going to find 0, 1. So we go to the x-axis, we go to the origin, and we're going to go up 1 because it's a positive 1. So there's our new point. And then we're going to finish with our last point, which is 1. So we're going to go back up to the table. Y equals -2 times 1 plus 1. So what is a -2 times 1? That's -2. -2 plus 1 is -1. So we're going to take that point. Our x value that we used was 1, and the y value was -1. So we can go over to our graph. X is 1. So we're going to go to the right one, and y is -1, so we're going to go down 1. So there's our new point. Now that we have our 3 points plotted, you want to take a straight edge, which I do not have at the moment, and you're going to sit and you are going to connect your points. Whoops, that's really bad. But you get my drift. I'm trying to learn how to use this stylus, so hopefully that makes sense. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.